And welcome to the 8th Annual State of the College Address. My name is Bobby, and I'm a PhD student in the Counseling Psychology Department here, but I'm also nearing my second year as president of the Teachers College Student Senate, and it's in that capacity that I'm here today. I'm especially honored to introduce President Susan Furman as she delivers this 8th Annual State of the College Address because of the incredible work that she has led the college to accomplish in this past year. The Student Senate has heavily advocated for greater funding, a better infusion of diversity into curricula and programming, and a greater community impact. And I'm happy to say that the college has made great strides in those areas through the leadership of President Susan Furman. We've seen a large increase in both master's and doctoral funding. We've seen greater diversity initiatives as evidenced by the Women, Gender, and Sexuality Project in my own department, and a bigger community impact through collaborations like the Teachers College Community School. But we still have much more to strive for. So join me in welcoming President Susan Furman as she speaks on the state of Teachers College, where the future and the students truly come first.
Welcome to the annual State of the College, and thank you, Bobby, so much for that introduction and for your dedication to TC. Bobby received his master's in counseling psychology, and now, as he mentioned, he's a doctoral candidate. We're a student. We are so pleased he chose TC over many other possibilities, and we're just delighted that he decided to stay. I look forward to this opportunity each year to share with the TC community our good news and accomplishments, our challenges, and our plans for the future. Today, I want to focus on how we're moving forward on multiple fronts to support strategic innovation, better positioning TC as a 21st century institution that will continue to lead, to educate, and to innovate. With a changing technological environment and changing opportunities for professionals and scholars in the fields we serve, we need to evolve and innovate. In meetings and conversations over the last year with and among faculty, TC leadership, staff, students, and alumni, we keep coming back to critical questions. How can we better enable and support innovation, with the ultimate goal to sustain and renew our legacy of pioneering and shaping programs and fields? Sometimes that question comes across like, how can we get anything done? A Teachers College is large, many offices, many individuals, and sometimes it seems like there's an obstacle every place you turn. We know that. So we want to make it easier to innovate, and we believe it's important, and we want to make progress on that front. And then, as we renew and redesign, how can we be the most strategic about that, coordinating our efforts, ensuring that we maximize success? So, for example, just to give you a sense of some of the innovative things that are going on, I want to mention a few new programs. Professor Lisa Miller started a first-of-its-kind summer intensive master's program in general psychology with a spirituality mind-body concentration. That's an executive program, takes place over the summer, and already has garnered tremendous interest. We have the new Global Competence Certificate Program led by Professor Bill Gaudelli, which is the first graduate-level certificate program in global competence education for U.S. school teachers and leaders. Professor Ryan Baker taught a MOOC last year, a massive open online course in learning analytics, and he has worked with colleagues to propose a master's degree in that field. And then, as Bobby mentioned, we have the new Sexuality, Women, and Gender initiative, led by Professor Melanie Brewster, Orly Affin, and Riddhi Sandel. Given the positive response to these new exciting ideas, we must look at how we can seize more opportunities to translate marvelous ideas and visions into programs that advance TC's global leadership across the fields we embody. This year, we'll encourage the TC community to think strategically about how we can create and develop more innovative programs, better serve our students, and conduct our business with greater effectiveness, productivity, and success. There's much hard work ahead, but the hope is our efforts will bear fruit and help us create a more robust college in every way. On the program side, we've asked Vice Provost Bill Baldwin to lead the effort to improve our capacity to support faculty program initiatives, to streamline the often complex and time-consuming approval processes within the college and externally. We have a number of innovative new degree and certificate programs awaiting state approval and many more in the pipeline. Bill is working with dozens of faculty members on ways to support further new program development. Today, I lunched with John King, New York State Education Commissioner, and we talked about how to encourage swift action on our programs awaiting approval. There's a particular interest in certificate programs. There are myriad possibilities to serve thousands of TC alumni and other professionals throughout their careers with professional development opportunities. Some faculty are already engaged in this work, while many more have promising ideas they're eager to develop. We've long felt a moral obligation to serve our alumni, to help them upgrade their knowledge and skills. Now, technology may enable a much greater and more fruitful focus, particularly on post-MA professionals. To strengthen our technology expertise and capacity, we brought on board last month a new Chief Information Officer for the college, Naveed Hussain. He comes to us from Queens College, where he established an impressive record of success over 10 years to bring major technology innovations and upgrades across Queens College. He's also worked as a UN peacekeeper, an experience that might come in handy here at TC. The Board of Trustees has made an investment in building support for enhanced digital offerings. We're currently conducting a national search for a newly created position, Vice Provost for Digital Learning. This individual, who will report to the Provost, will provide expertise and guidance on strategic direction and use of technology to enhance our practices and broaden our offerings, both non-credit, aimed primarily at the post-MA market I described above, and for-credit online courses and degrees. Other pieces of the picture must also take shape. Thanks to a recommendation from the Faculty Subcommittee on Finance, Facilities, and Support Services, we'll invest in marketing and support for faculty to design new efforts. The committee also has spearheaded several subgroups focusing on possibilities for and obstacles to innovation, including incentives for faculty to engage in new programs. Our new registration system will include both non-credit as well as for-credit registrants in the same system. A new intellectual property policy, it's making its way through the faculty and the trustees. It encourages incentives for patentable or licensable products such as games or software. And we hope EdLab can take on a big role in helping faculty, staff, students, and alumni refine products that could be marketed. We're in the process of creating a new Board of Trustees committee on strategic innovation that will study and make recommendations on our institutional needs and goals across all these areas. Strategic innovation at TC won't happen overnight, but we're determined to make substantial progress in the year ahead. That will take the help and expertise of everyone at TC, and we need your thoughtful feedback as we develop and implement policies and practices and adopt new technologies. We have so many diverse constituencies at the college who have a great deal to contribute to this process. That's why it's so critical that we rely on TC's structure of representative governance to facilitate participation in these efforts. We've talked a lot about shared governance over the years, and personally, I'm very pleased and very grateful for the progress that we've all made to assure that voices are heard, input is real, and concerns are met, although we must always strive to improve. But we also depend on representative governance. I encourage everyone to share ideas and concerns with your respective representatives. We have various governance groups, committees, networks that are charged with representing students, faculty, professional staff, administrative staff, and union members. The job of your representatives is to ensure your voices are heard and your views are part of the discussion. I look forward to working with the representatives of all stakeholders at TC and to once again renew our historic legacy and make us now the most innovative graduate school of education in the world. Our work on innovation and all our plans for the years ahead are supported by our campaign, Where the Future Comes First, the Campaign for Teachers College. Let me give you an update on the campaign and how it's supporting TC's people and priorities. We've made significant progress toward our goal of $300 million since the campaign launched last November. Hot off the press number, as of October 1st, we have raised over $180 million toward our funding priorities. Applause now. So thanks to all of you who've been working so hard on this effort. Our priorities are scholarships and fellowships, faculty support and programs and partnerships, renewing our campus and technology, the TC Fund, and other unrestricted giving. Financial support for our students is our number one funding priority for the campaign, as Bobby mentioned. It's so important that since the launch of the campaign, we've increased the goal for financial aid. It's now $124 million. Our generous alumni, faculty, trustees, and friends are responding with giving as never before. Scholarship giving for fiscal year 2014 stood at $12.4 million, which was a 35% jump over last year's final total of $9.2 million. In 2014, we introduced 2 new scholarships that have provided outstanding support to incoming students. The first was the introduction of support for students from historically black colleges and universities, HBCUs, who are pursuing teacher education fields. We offered full funding to 3 incoming master's students. A second is an $18,000 scholarship to an incoming master's student who wishes to pursue work on LGBTQ issues. Collaborating with the Tyler Clementi Foundation, we offered this new scholarship to a master's student in adult learning and leadership. For continuing students, this year we introduced 2 new scholarship programs. The 125th Anniversary Scholarship, which was created with money raised at our gala last November, and the Doctoral Dissertation Grant Scholarships. Overall, in the last 6 years, our institutional scholarship and financial aid budget has increased by almost 80%. In the last year alone, our institutional scholarship and financial aid budget increased by almost 20%. That means more students than ever before are receiving financial support from TC. We're making progress in recruiting new fully funded doctoral students to the college each year. This year, 45% of our entering cohort of new full-time doctoral students received funding. This is up from about 15% in previous years, a significant jump. And when we offer those full-funded packages, our yield is high. For this year's entering class, fully funded doctoral students, the yield was 85%. Which indicates the importance of offering competitive packages to attract the best students. I think our general yield is in the 60s. So this is quite an increase, and it shows that when you can put the money out there, we can beat Harvard and Stanford just about every time. While all these indicators are promising, we have to go far toward fully funding our students in line with our peer institutions. Recently, I've heard and read many appreciative comments from students and faculty, even from a few families, about the increased support for students. Because of this support, we're able to attract and retain the best students to TC. We always knew they were the best. Now they don't have to work paying off loans for the rest of their life. That's what they deserve. They need to graduate without the crushing burden of debt. We're so excited about this next generation of TC people who, like generations before them, are determined to change the world. I always love to share good news about our students. As we do every fall, we welcomed a new class to TC. They number 1,844, and they are immensely talented. As I tell them, they're the most talented class to ever enter TC, and they can just imagine whether I said that the year before as well. Our new students range in age from 20 to 64. Is that great? 64? And they come to TC from every corner of the country and from around the world. This year, 23% of incoming students are from outside the U.S., that's an all-time high, coming from 67 different countries. It's especially noteworthy that 17 nations new to the college are represented in this year's class. So they're truly a global group. Overall, our students continue to get more diverse in every way. This year, the proportion of U.S. citizens enrolled at the college who self-identify as students of color is more than 40%. Our commitment to diversity is nationally recognized and certainly one of TC's distinctive legacies. In 2014, the Almanac of Higher Education ranked us 6th among U.S. universities in granting the most doctoral degrees to Black students. We can stand a little applause on this one, too. We're the only private college in the top 10, and we're a much smaller institution than other highly ranked schools like the University of Michigan. We're proud of this recognition, but our work, of course, is far from done. We're striving to be a leader across all the diverse groups represented in the rankings. In regard to faculty, we could be here all day talking about their accomplishments in research, practice, and policy, and the innovative programs they create. Very often, these new efforts are externally funded, and it's fantastic that in a time of fiscal constraint across the board, our faculty research funding has been on the rise from $34.4 million in fiscal year 07 to about $41 million in fiscal year 13. Over that time, we've seen a nearly 50% increase in funding from federal sources, which is significant given cuts in federal spending. We've had recent great news in that regard. Our teacher preparation program, TR at TC2, which is a teacher residency program, won a $7.5 million federal grant from the U.S. Department of Education's new Teacher Quality Partnership Program just a couple of weeks ago. So, more applause. TR at TC2 is obviously 2. There was a 1 that completed, and it was modeled on the idea of a medical residency, an enormously exciting and successful program. And this new grant is going to focus on teachers in the STEM fields, science, technology, engineering, and math. And we want to congratulate Program Director and Vice Dean for Teacher Education, Lynn Goodwin, and her colleagues for this wonderful accomplishment. This summer, Tom Bailey was at the White House with Education Secretary Arne Duncan and other administration officials to announce the launch of TC's new Center for the Analysis of Post-Secondary Readiness. The new center is being launched with a 5-year, $9.9 million federal grant, which is incredibly exciting. They must have a reason that it's not $10 million someday. We'll talk about that, Tom. Like 99 cents. But Tom, as you know, is the George and Abby O'Neill Professor of Economics and Education and leads our nationally recognized Community College Research Center, and congratulations. The Dean Hope Center and the Department of Counseling and Clinical Psychology have received a prestigious grant from the Federal Health Resources and Services Administration. The grant will provide stipends for doctoral students, 6 of them, for training in integrated psychology and healthcare for underserved populations. TC is one of 40 institutions in the country to receive the 3-year grant, which provides almost $200,000 a year. This is critical and urgent work, as the Affordable Care Act is changing the way healthcare is organized and delivered around the country. Congratulations to Dean Hope Center Director Danelia Rosa, as well as Professor Lisa Miller of Clinical Psychology and Professor Marie Millville of Counseling Psychology. Our National Center for Restructuring Education, Schools, and Teaching won a $12 million grant from the U.S. Department of Education for its STEM Early College Expansion Partnership. The partnership provides high-quality professional development for teachers in early college high schools in those STEM fields, in high schools that work with high-needs students. Another applause. Of course, no new academic year is complete without the arrival of talented and promising new faculty members. This fall, we greeted 9 new faculty members and a postdoctoral research fellow. They're a distinguished group of scholars whose fields are diverse, as is their backgrounds. Their fields range from early childhood education to learning sciences and from speech pathology to bilingual bicultural education. I encourage you to peruse our TC new faculty gallery on our homepage to learn more about these impressive scholars. They join an already incredibly strong faculty. Our faculty are the best of any graduate school of education in the world, and I know that's something we can all agree on, and more applause. Of our current faculty, more than a third have been recruited over the last 7 years, which indicates we're continuing to attract world-class scholars to TC and renew our intellectual legacy. And the diversity of our faculty has been increasing as well. 24% of faculty members are people of color, more than half of whom have been hired since 2007. TC's external reach continues to grow and flourish. Our REACH partnership continues to serve the academic, social, and health needs of students in the 6 public schools in Harlem. REACH stands for Raising Educational Achievement Coalition of Harlem, and it's a signature initiative of our Office of School and Community Partnerships led by Associate Vice President Nancy Strime. If you used a Chase ATM in the last month, you may have noticed a message about the bank's support of the REACH program through its $1 million donation right on the front of the ATM. I don't know how many people read the messages when they get their money, but whatever, we'll take it. We're especially thrilled with the progress being made by students at our partnership school, the Teachers College Community School. The good news is spreading like wildfire. TCCS saw more applicants for its kindergarten seats this year than any other school in districts 5 or 6. With 469 students vying for 50 spots. This summer, we joined Principal Janine Worrell-Breeden and an array of New York City officials to officially open a new city-funded playground at the school. Our international reach remains an important part of our work. We continue to collaborate with the Columbia Global Centers with the goal of having projects in all 8 centers. So much of TC's global engagement focuses on capacity building and helping nations and communities develop and retain their own expertise, in stark contrast to other institutions that focus on competing with local capacity. We at TC and Columbia have chosen not to do that deliberately. One example is the work being done in Brazil by Brian Perkins, director of TC's Urban Education Leaders Program. He serves as a consultant to the municipal government of Rio de Janeiro to help build leadership capacity in the schools. He teamed with 2 TC doctoral students to help Rio's education department create a leadership development academy, and 20 principals just completed the program. This summer, Professor Helena Verdelli from psychology worked with Syrian refugees in Jordan to explore the potential of psychotherapy to ease depression in children and adults in war-torn regions of the world. Her work is tremendously important right now when there is so much psychological trauma as a result of armed conflicts, poverty, and disease. As we enable and support strategic innovation, we'll continue to identify new possibilities for global collaborations and seek support for faculty to engage in international work. I look forward each year at the State of the College to our recognition of Elaine Brantley Award winners. We'll honor this year's winners shortly, but I want to take a minute to acknowledge them. Akilulu Gidi, who works in the Business Services Center, and James Carney and Dennis Chambers from the Office of Public Safety. As many of you know, Dennis is a TC alumnus who has earned 2 master's degrees and an EDD. It's no accident that 2 members of our public safety staff are represented this year. I know I speak for everyone here when I say how much their work is valued and appreciated. They keep us safe every day. But they're also some of TC's best ambassadors. They're the first people new and prospective students meet when they come to campus. They help thousands of visitors each year navigate our sometimes confusing campus and get to their destinations. When alumni return to campus, they often take a moment to catch up with public safety officers who were such an important part of their daily lives here. They know every nook and cranny of this campus and are ever alert to our surroundings. So it's no surprise that our public safety officers made an incredible find recently, a wallet that was lost by a TC student in Bancroft Hall 33 years ago. Alumna Jennifer Igis was reunited with her wallet and her ID from 1981 when she visited campus to thank them. Isn't that an amazing story? So let's take this opportunity to show our appreciation for our public safety officers. Thank you for all you do. Finally, I want to say a few words about the loss this year of some TC icons. Maxine Green, George Bond, and just within the last 2 weeks, Jack Mesereau. On Monday afternoon, this auditorium held a memorial event for Maxine that was both moving and joyous. She touched so many lives and so many generations of students. We will celebrate the legacy and life of George Bond on October 28th. I encourage you to attend this event. I guarantee you'll be inspired by the stories of his groundbreaking work and his life-changing impact on students and colleagues. And we're just beginning discussions on how best to commemorate the life and contributions of Jack Mesereau. We're so fortunate to have had luminaries like these whose influence will endure and help light the road ahead for our college. Let's be inspired by their work and their dedication to our college as we go forward together this year to build an even stronger TC. Thank you.